is a condition for the other to thrive.
There is not the issue now.
We will. We are working with, just had a meeting, we will. There is no real strategy to end anything. Only strategy to profit from the problems. That's the only strategy they have. And every time they profit from the tragedy of this whole thing, tragedy, strategy, JD, Teddy, no, it's different. I wanted to say they removed the S and gave you tragedy, because they have no strategy, none. The only strategy is to profit from your tragedies, okay? And as they are profiting from your tragedies, right, bloods are flowing and the economy is nosediving, okay? So now they are telling Tinubu that some of the people think that they can talk to these people, but people are really agitated. They are angry and they are hungry. In Yoruba, what that means is that being power. Let's go to Songwater. I told you, you don't need anybody to lead you on protest. When you hit everybody correct, you will hit the streets. Need the leader. You need nobody to encourage you to do that. Songwater, ladies and gentlemen.
Àwọn arọ́ta ti jáde o. Wọ́n lè bí pa wá lọ́ta o. Wọ́n ti blọ́ọ̀kì gbogbo ọ̀nà o. Mo ṣe ń lọ bí iṣẹ́ ni wọ́n ti blọ́ọ̀kì ọ̀nà lọ́ta o.
High blood pressure or low blood pressure? Come by
and blọ́ọ̀kì ọ̀nà wọ́n lè bí pa wá ẹ̀wà wọn arọ́ta o. Ẹ̀wà wọn arọ́ta wọ́n ti blọ́ọ̀kì ọ̀nà lọ́ta o. Wọ́n ṣe ń lọ bí iṣẹ́ ni wọ́n ti blọ́ọ̀kì ọ̀nà lọ́ta o. Ìfẹ́ di wàhálà lọ́ta o. wàhálà lẹ̀ ni. Ìyá òun ni kò ní sùúrù kó jẹ́ kán lọ.
We woke up on the 4th of February to discover that the duty of Niger State and our baby factory is shutting down.
Did you see that, right? So some of them are protesting that the NAFDAC in Nigeria ban alcoholic drinks in sachet water, right? I'm sorry, sachet papers or bags. So others are protesting that they have no jobs. Others among them were protesting that they were hungry. Wow. It is the situation around there, ladies and gentlemen. As for this woman you heard earlier, it's a different feeling.
Tinubu, oríbu ti kàn yín báyìí o, òṣì ti kàn yín o, ebi ìpọ̀ o, epo tún wà àtúrẹ́pọ̀ ló ń bí. Bàbá, mo lè kọ́rí búyà sí. Fojú yín fọ́ ni. Ìríkà ráìsì 1 2 1 3. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ ṣé ti pa ni. Ọlọ́mọ mẹ́jọ mélòó ló fẹ́. Sóyè ilé yín ni. Bàbá. Ẹ bọ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀. Ẹ bọ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ o. Ẹjọ́ ọmọ kékeré ṣe eléyìí pọ̀. Ẹ tú wàhálẹ̀ Tinubu èmi ló kàn. Gbèsè yìí pọ̀ o. Tinubu.
Gbèsè is debt. A lot of people are living on debt in Nigeria now. Their health have taken a hit, like all of them. And it is not even yet, it hasn't even started. That is the scariest part. This whole thing hasn't even started. Now warm up. Because these rogues are not stopping their looting. They are not stopping it. All this cry, all these screams, everything, all of that, they are just drama. When he hit everybody correct, they won't even you won't even need any motivation from anybody to hit the streets. But some people are still finding a way around it. Some of us are abroad, we are still subsidizing some of our family, and our family members are also kind of, most of them are also reaching out to their own friends and all of that. Here and there, we are still funneling money into that economy, as bad as it is. But from what I heard, a lot of people are already cutting down. Some have already, those who, instead of sending money to that place, many have actually moved their family out. This has also reduced the amount of money that is coming in. Day by day, they are making decisions that will continue to stifle it. The end goal is that, Baba, everybody my butter lasting. You understand? Let's quickly go back to Abure that is defending himself. He is accused. The treasurer of Labour Party accused the party chairman, Abure, of siphoning over 3 billion naira money realized from the sale of farms during elections. So it has been accusations, counter accusations, but for the record, because I remember yesterday I had the lady on the screen and she was very convincing. At a point she said, Abure came to her house with a bag of money to bribe her as part of her allegations. In fact, she was on Channels Television today. This time around, she did not just make allegations. She was presenting documents. She was kind of, flying some papers and all that, which I believe are evidence of all those money she's been talking about. But the reason why I'm going to share this with you is that I don't know what is written inside what Abure is sharing. The Labour Party chairman guy, the guy that is at the storm of the whole thing right now. Well, he has documents to say all he has to say, and it was grilled in the same studio, which is the Arise News. So I need you to pay attention. Again, it's not to believe him or not, all right? But it's just to give you the insight into what is really going on there. It's very important. Now, take a listen.
You say that Maria Lebeke, who was acting chairman during that period, became signatory what month? Just to clarify.
January.
January. Okay, so it's...
January.
Okay, so it's...
Yes.
according to reports, she became a signatory in March, end of March to be precise. So just to clarify that you're stating categorically here on national TV that she became a signatory in January.
I didn't get your question. I didn't get that.
You're saying that she became a signatory in January, contrary to reports that she actually became a signatory end of March.
Yes, obviously. I took over the leadership of the party end of March. And I took over the leadership of the party on the 29th day of March.
When she became a signatory of the account? When was it, January or end of March?
January. I took over the leadership of the party in March, and therefore she could not have become signatory of the party end of March.
Okay. All right, so that's clarifying that. That's your word against it.
She became national chairman of the party, acting national chairman of the party on the 31st day of December 2020. And by January, we effected change of signatories, and she started running the account. Okay. She ran the account till end of March 2021. And I took over the leadership of the party March 29th. And we effected other changes in the account, and I became the A signatory. So there was no way she could have assumed signatories, or she could. There's no way she would have become signatories to the account after she has been removed from office.
Okay. All right. Just again to clarify, and that's why it's a bit strange. Because what you're saying today is at variance with what Madam Oluchi said when she was here with us. So one person isn't factual with the truth. So what one would have expected would be that in the spirit of fairness, the party would have investigated both claims. Because what she said when she was here on Tuesday was that she didn't co-sign those checks. In fact, she wasn't aware of those checks going out. And what you're saying today is that she was actually aware and that she did sign. So it's your word against hers, and one would assume that thorough investigation
Let me show you. You see, in law, the evidence speaks for themselves. When I was making my remarks, I showed you of checks here that has co-signed between me and Oluchi Opara. These checks were signed by, this is Oluchi Opara's signature. Last year, June, July, December, all these are the checks, sample of checks that I brought to this studio. I had to print them out yesterday from our records. All these checks I came here with are checks that are signed, co-signed between me and Oluchi Opara. There are some of the checks here that are signed by the three signatories, myself, National Secretary, and National Treasurer, which is herself. Some other checks are here that were co-signed between me and her. This is Oluchi Opara's signature. This is her signature, and this is my signature.
Okay, so
these are recent checks
the timeline in
that
question,
were signed last year.
The timeline, sorry, Mr. Bure, the timeline in question, I'm not doubting that she might have signed other checks. The timeline in question was 28th of February to 7th of March 2021 was what she questioned. Not the fact that she said that 14 million was withdrawn from the same account between 28th of February to 7th of March 2021. Do you have any of those checks with you? Because that's what she was, that was what she centered on, not just her signing checks generally.
The reason I'm saying this is that she equally alleged that she doesn't run the party, she doesn't know what is happening in the accounts. I'm only proving to you that she has come to lie and to misinform members of the public in order to bring us and bring the party to disrepute. She was on this same studio and told you that she never had access to the accounts. She didn't know how the account was being run. And so I came here with a lot of these checks to show to you that she was lying. I have those checks that were signed between that February and March 2021. Those checks are not here. But these are public documents that you can get from the bank. I expected that you also even tell her to provide those evidence. In law, he who asserts must prove. He who alleges must prove. I had expected that you also ask her to bring the evidence to show that those monies were actually withdrawn without her signature. I have come here to show to you checks that are co-signed between us, between me and Oluchi Opara. Okay.
No, bro. Bro, that doesn't seem right. Something is off. Something is off. Okay? He probably heard our allegations that she did not sign checks, that money were withdrawn from the bank, from the party's account at a certain month, from certain month to certain month. This guy, Abure, printed other checks. Yeah? But forgot to print that one. I wanted her to go and print that one and show it to us because it's a public document. Alaye, you printed other ones that she signed. But she's talking about 14 million that she didn't sign. But money was taken out. You jumped that. You're now asking us to go and ask her to present that. Okay, we'll ask her. So, because what can you say now? But I just feel like something is off, right? Here is the other part of it. Please, watch.
Versus Julius Abure. Don't you find this embarrassing? And that you people have disappointed the people who invested so much in the Labour Party, thinking that it will be different from the existing political parties? Those two issues.
Yes, I must state here clearly that beyond just right of reply, if not that there was an insistence that I should reply. Ordinarily, I will get people to do the reply and put all these facts before you. But I decided to come here to make some few clarifications on all of these issues. I've said so very clearly. My lawyers are working by today. Those cases will be filed. Cases of defamation will be filed against Oluchukwu Opara, who came to national television to defame my person and to bring down my reputation. This is very clear. There's no way I could have taken this for granted. Like you said and you rightly observed, this is beyond just a right of reply on a national television. I'm going to take steps. In fact, I've taken steps already. My lawyers are filing today or tomorrow cases against Oluchi Opara. Now, to answer the second question, it is unfortunate, and I found this equally very embarrassing, that it is even those within the Labour Party that are being used to destabilize the party. Were you not surprised at the emergence of Apapa Bashiru, who rose up and simply was working against the interest of the party? Today, you can see the allegations and all the spurious allegations made by Oluchi Opara. And I'm sure this is why the National Publicity Secretary of the party came out yesterday to say it clearly that external factors are using some people in the party to destabilize the party. But this is not surprising in politics, where either those in government or opposition political party who are afraid of the rising fortune of the party, we want to get people within the party to cause chaos in the party. And this is truly the situation, in as much as it's embarrassing to us, but it's a challenge that is before us that we must deal with as a party. And I'm happy that we are dealing with it. You saw the behavior of Apapa and others who attempted, members of the party who attempted to destroy the case of Peter Obi in court, and they took several steps to disparage the party, disorganize the party in the process of that litigation. What does that tell you? That tells you that external hand is involved in this. And this is not also unlikely with the case of Oluchi Opara. She's being used, she's being manipulated, and it's very obvious, it's very clear. And I'm sure that very soon, those who are behind the scene will know, and it will become very, very obvious. You saw what happened to our papa in the courts.
Yes, sir.
during the court processes.
Yeah.
Oh, the people reacted and brought justice to bear right there because the people saw it clearly. And this is what is happening. Those who have, there are obviously...
Bro, you are going off track and you're about to sort of implicate yourself. And I'm not going to let my friends here begin to hate you. Seriously, right? I'm not saying there is something wrong here per se, but something is not right as well. Do you understand? So when he begins to go down off and begin, it's pretty much like he's trying to hold on to straws. Listen to me. Somebody said, but it was not the one there between between January and March before he took over. Baba, you don't understand. He doesn't need a lawyer. He doesn't need to go to anywhere. All he has to do first is that if he didn't have all those things, he shouldn't have come to the TV. All he needed to do was because he's now in charge of the account. He's their chairman, right? All he had to do is to print the statement of account, print out all the checks issued around that time. Number one, you won't, normally, right, if nothing is wrong, you won't see his signature in any check signed before he took over in March, like he said, Abi. So what do you have to do? What do you need lawyers for? Print all those things out and give them to the TV station that invites you, right? Let them plaster out those evidence on their screen for everybody to see who signed, who didn't sign. You don't come around and begin to say, why didn't she present them? And all of that stuff. That's where I said something is off. Do you understand? It'd be like Tinubu where they talk to me and present the certificate of the school he went. And he hired lawyers. So when they decided to go to the school he claimed he went in America, he also went to America and hired lawyers to stop them. What was he hiding? Then he came back to Nigeria and said, if they accuse me of this or that, they should present evidence. But you are in court in America to stop the evidence. I don't think if anyone has anything, like if you don't have anything to, you just you bring that first. Okay? And then you can now say, I am going to sue. Because I understand that all these things is just an effort to defame me. So I'm going to sue her for defamation of character. But listen, these are what they deny. They told you here this, Tabi. Now, take a look at all these documents. I couldn't have go back and forge them for you, could I? And Freedom of Information Act allows you, media, to go and verify if what I'm presenting to you is real or fake. Now, they came here. You entertained them for some minutes or hours here. Now, this is what they came here to tell you didn't happen. Now, take a look. You've cleared the hair. After that, if you now say, I'm going to now fight them, because I know they are doing this on purpose, a lot of us will understand and say, oh, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But like they tell us, say, person will accuse you something, must bring evidence. Meanwhile, you brought some evidence yourself to come and debunk the allegation, but you left some out. You're going to tell us, go ask her. So, and then you begin to talk about her papa, how people beat up her papa in court. Baba, you are not Obio. Sometimes we need to kind of tell some of these guys, say, even Peter Obi himself, the guy will get all the grace where they cause this whole distraction and all that, instead they see caution. So Abure, you know, be Obi, nobody go beat anybody because of you. All you have to do is what? Give people reasons why they can identify those that they send to come and tarnish your party. People believe you are all the same. And that's why a lot of obedients are saying, they should have independent candidates. They are so confident in Obi that they believe that all it takes is just for Obi to be president. Things are not going to be, it's not going to turn around overnight, but naturally, as a law of you know, something like a societal order, once you know that the person will there above with such power, you need to be careful around him when it comes to money and all that. That alone can just trickle down. It won't erase all those criminality and corruption, but it can actually send something out. It didn't take Nigerians, it didn't take them more than a month or two to realize that the man they said was coming to fight corruption, Bukwari, was actually the most corrupt man. It didn't take them long. Others were just doubting that if they were right or wrong. 8 years after, you know better. Here you get. So a lot of people believe that, and obedient, you can't change their mind. If they have their way, all they want is just to be president. Everything else will take care of itself. If he has to run on independently, without Labour, without PDP, without any of this, they are fine. Just don't compare yourself to Obi. If you are one of those his disciples or those benefiting from it. One man, that's what I heard on the streets. So you know. Because my time is so far gone, and I want to take calls tonight. I want to take calls. You know, so Mark, keep that time, but Mark go make myself another cup of tea. Okay, my tea is almost empty. So when I get back, listen, if you are still watching this, remember, like the broadcast, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video, okay? Share it. And you can also pick up your phone, all right, to also call in and contribute to the entire conversation tonight. Anyone that catches your fancy, I will be back. Don't go anywhere. Thank you very much, everyone. My line is open for everyone who might want to call in and then be part of this tonight. And I bet I do have my first caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello, Maya. Good evening.
Oh, good evening to you. Is that Charm, right?
It's like this, my voice is, it gives me away.
Easily. However, how are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine, thank you. I'm going to go straight to the point.
Please.
Because there are a few things that, like you said, you can pick up on which area you want to talk on.
That's right.
And sometimes I really hesitate because I know a lot of people are like, oh, Abure doesn't sound convincing and this and that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an Abure fan. I don't follow him, right? But I'll always err on the side of caution. And sometimes I say, oh, to be a fly on the wall. Now, me and you, we're not flies on the wall. We're not there. We can't say for a fact that such and such didn't happen or such and such happened. It will always be his word against her word until such a time as they produce some documentation to support their allegations, which both of them haven't done, right? So I'll always, like I said, err on the side of caution. Now, doesn't it look suspicious that it's at this point in time you're hearing all of this in about Labour Party? like a couple of days ago, you talked about some guy who was talking about how they need to investigate the party for some funds.
Sponsoring terrorism, insecurity. That they were using money from Labour Party, to fund terrorism. That's what that idiot said. Araban idiot.
Okay, that's Araban. Okay, so he came out and said that. Tried to also rope in Aisha Yusuf. Tried to also say
Farotimi and other names. He dragged them into it.
And drag them into it, and then single out Obi and say, we're not talking about Obi. Now, those things that you can pick up and say is suspicious. I feel that they are still trying to target, and this is my own opinion, they're still trying to target Obi through Labour Party. Because even if at the end of the day they decide to do an investigation, there is no way they are not going to rope him in. I still think that there is some kind of fear with regards to the kind of traction that Obi has. Right, that even if he decides on his own not to fund his next election, if he's interested, right, people are willing to put in their own money to see that he runs again and hopefully wins. He has that kind of appeal. A lot of them, Bola Tinubu certainly doesn't have that appeal. Neither does Atiku. Atiku is not as visible as he ought to be in the political spectrum at the moment, right? So it's really between the popularity or lack of popularity with regards to BAT is, they feel that Obi is more popular. He had a lot of people who are, looking to see that he does become president.
Yeah, he remains kind of politically still formidable, a threat that they couldn't put out.
And they couldn't put out, and he is not going. It doesn't seem like his popularity is waning. And in fact, his popularity is also going way past Nigeria even. You're talking about Ghanaians, most of West Africa, they all seem to be obedient, right? So, which is why I also found, I think, the calculated move on Obi's part to come out and, give account of the campaign fund, because there's no way you can now pin anything on him. He has told you this is what was spent, and he has somebody who is also as transparent as he is, that is Aisha Yusuf, who was the head of his campaign as well. So I feel like this is a calculated move. And if I will be, I would run as an independent, because Labour Party, for all intents and purposes, is not useful. There's just too much baggage with the party. There's always one thing or the other coming up. So I don't think there's a point to him actually carrying on. Either he runs as an independent, or he sets up his own political party, which we know will have national appeal, because he doesn't do things in half measures. He does go around, and we have evidence that he did go around the country, to campaign for his votes and everything. So I think, like a lot of people want to talk about, these things. And I just feel like we can't say for sure. And I always say, you don't know everything, because you were not in the room when it happened, okay? So you weren't there. So you can't say for a fact 100%. It may sound like a lie, doesn't mean that it's a lie. It may sound like he's not like convincing,
but or not convincing enough, but exactly. That doesn't make him. I get that. But Obi said he's going to do something. He's already doing something by bringing in independent investigator. That means the story is not ending anytime soon. Cham.
No, absolutely, and I don't think it should end, because even if he's going to go ahead and float another political party, even if he's going to go ahead and run as an independent, he has to do so. I feel like if you're going to have closure, right, you need to do all of these things. You need to show that you can be accountable, and you can also make every other person around you be transparent. So it's good that he's going ahead to do this investigation, because that way, once the investigation is all said and done, and what is right, what is wrong, and whoever is responsible is held responsible, he can walk away knowing that, okay, that door is closed, or he can move ahead knowing that door is closed.
And the other one is that, it will probably make it even difficult for him to be roped into any scheme that is going on behind the scene as well. He's more or less ahead of them right now, doing the probe himself and coming clean. And if you have any questions, you can easily ask now. which is brilliant.
Listen, if that man was a chess player, I don't know if he's a chess player. He's a grandmaster.
No,
He knows
he's
what
a smart
he's
guy.
doing.
Yeah. Because he looks ordinary,
guy.
you know, it makes things look so ordinary. But just because
Yeah,
you are thinking in that perspective right now, and I have to go that direction with you, and it's making a lot of sense, right? To say we have heard some snippets of things, accusations here and there. The highest of them is to link them and their money to terrorism. And we all know what Nigeria is today. And we all know how these guys also act. It's a matter of time before their media begin to say, oh, they said they are the one funding terrorism now. So it will be difficult this time. You are right, John.
Absolutely. It is very difficult at this time. And I also want to go back to something that you talked about yesterday, right? Regarding, yes, I will make it quick. Regarding Emefiele and how the BBC have picked that story up to make it seem like, he was responsible for most of the, the corruption or whatever that went on in Buhari's government. And again, they clearly
BBC simply just said Emefiele forged Buhari's signature. That's what BBC practically said. And they therefore they are declared some people wanted. I mean, it's mental, right?
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make, with regards to this is how quick the BBC have picked this up, right? So you can know where our problems are. We always seem to think that our problems are solely ours, but they're not always solely ours. We also have external forces which are problematic. And before anybody who, on the platform decides to talk about, okay, I'm not talking about us being one Nigeria, right? You have to stand for something. You have to stand for truth. Where truth is something is right, you call it out. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't go our separate ways, because I feel like we should go our separate ways. Each region should prove themselves, and if we want to decide to come back together as a country, then it should be under different terms. At the end of the day. But I want us to understand that our problems are not solely ours alone. It's quite complex, and we have external forces which don't want to see this continent move forward. So let me rest there.
Anyway, Charm, thank you for pointing that out too. Okay, I'll take another one. You have a wonderful day there. Okay, so because it's afternoon in the US, I have another caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello, Mayegu Baba.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Mayegu Baba. I'm fine. This is Anthony from Lagos.
Anthony, my brother. I was looking at that name. I was like, is Anthony? Well, you see. How are you today, Baba?
I'm fine, sir.
MVP, most valuable people on earth, surviving Shege of Ekolu.
This one don't pass surviving.
Really? Tell us.
Last week, I just say let me go and visit my uncle in Ijebu to go and see whether I can get a plantain or get anything. Baba, Ijebu is as empty as anything. Ijebu is as empty as anything.
God damn it, man.
I even discovered that we are enjoying in Lagos.
Yeah?
Spaghetti in Ijebu is 900 Naira.
And in Lagos?
900. In Lagos is 750, 800, and it's 900 in Ijebu. Congo of Gari in Ijebu is 1,000 Naira, and 2.5 is rubber plant, and we are buying rubber plant 2,000 in Lagos. So if you look at it, they are suffering in Ijebu. Anything outside Lagos is suffering.
Hey.
Anything outside Lagos, where is 700 Naira, 650, 700. Once you just cross Lagos, you're on your own. So, and I read on the news this evening that the governor of Borno State released over 160,000 repented Boko Haram that he believed they will not go back to terrorism again because they are sworn by the Quran.
By the Quran, I saw that too.
It's a breaking news. And I tell my friend, I said these are the people that we said they are ready to fight insecurity. So they are not ready.
That guy, they are pointing that guy to be president of Nigeria too. That Borno, they were saying, he's one of the best governor in Nigeria. Oh, man, I don't want to be part of that.
That is the anointed candidate. That is the anointed candidate. As me and you, as we are speaking, that is the anointed candidate.
Hey,
that Zulum is the anointed candidate. How can you tell me that that Boko Haram can repent. Say they are sworn by the Quran that they will not go back to it.
You know what people are now saying, Anthony? They said, why don't they just take those? Take the Quran to the prisons in Nigeria and ask all the prisoners to swear by the Quran and let them go.
Yes, so that they will release. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and somebody stole a pot of soup in those days, and he was remanded in prison today or yesterday. Yes, that one was at least that one was hungry, and he went to steal the pot of soup. That one was hungry actually.
Murderers, kidnappers, rapists, and all these jihadists are swearing by the Quran. We're not going to do it again. Inshallah. I say yes, we believe them.
There is no end in sight to Nigeria issue. The issue is the solution to Nigeria issue is break up. There is no if you want to break it into 10, 7, 3, break it up. There's no end to sight. If you look at it, once the government come in with one policy today, it will drag until 4-5 months. Another thing will enter. They'll forget about that
when
one.
You begin to feel like say you don't get used to that one, or you are about to escape and they go add another one. You go scream and you say, we no go get peace in it. Then you begin to get used to it again and again. For Nigerians to get used to this, your Naira change and all the wahala that followed it. A lot of people believe that Nigerians can endure anything. That Naira change
the refinery that they are using to sing and making us feel like it's going to change everything and all that. Now he's going to export the fuel now that is producing.
Not just
he wants to be importing
importing crude oil from America
with dollars.
Brazil.
Yes.
And Nigerians are waiting for Dangote refineries that is going to crash the price of petrol. Well, there is no end in sight. You have said it all.
No, it's to break it up.
Bless you, Baba. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
You have a good one. Stay safe. Hey. Just a sec. I have another caller on the line, by the way. So give me a second. My caller, I want to appeal to my viewers. Listen, if we were over 2,500 at some point earlier, and we could only get I couldn't even get half of you. Half of 2,500 should be 1,300, 1,250 to pay their offerings, right? So you can take a minute and do that. I don't know why I have to keep saying that anyway, but I think I have to. Some people don't see it as anything, but it is something. Like the broadcast, share it, and listen to my caller. Hello there.
Hello, Michael. This is Adiola speaking.
Hey, brother. How are you, Baba?
Baba, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm doing very well.